Gaynor from Gaynor School of Cooking. Today I'm going to tell you how to make good basic pie dough pastry. Okay? Easiest way to make it is in a food processor. We start off, we have 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt. If you wanted to make your pastry sweet, you could add 1/4 cup or 1/2 cup of sugar. You don't have to, but I'm not going to do that today. We're going to put the lid on. We just combine those two ingredients together, and then we're going to add some butter. Now it's very important you keep all your ingredients cold, so this butter is very firm, cut into small pieces. We're going to add that to this. Put the lid back on, and we're going to pulse this until the butter is broken down to about the size of peas. You don't need to have it completely breadcrumbed, but it wants to be fairly small pea-shaped pieces. And then we're going to add some water. Now for this amount of flour, you're going to need about 3 to 4 tablespoons of water, but it will vary depending on the brand and type of flour you use and also the time of year. So don't assume that you're going to need the same amount with every type of flour, whether you make it in July or Christmas time. I'm going to put the lid on, and again I'm going to pulse it a few times. Now I've only added half of it. The way I tell if there's enough water in there, I take a handful of the mixture, which is still like breadcrumbs, and I squeeze it tightly in my hand. If the mixture holds together completely, there's enough water in there. This is still slightly crumbly, so I'm going to put a little bit more of my water in, about a tablespoon, and then just pulse it again. You can always put more water in, you can't take it out, so it's always good to be cautious. This is now holding together, it also feels damp to the touch. Now we don't want to process this completely into a ball in here because it tends to make the pastry dough very tough and will cause it to shrink when you bake it. So what we're going to do, we're going to turn it out onto our work surface and we're going to bring it together into a ball. I am going to use the heel of my hand because it's the coolest part of your hand. If you grab the dough like this and squeeze it, you're going to make it too warm, and we don't want to do that. And what you're going to do is you're going to smear the dough together using the heel of your hand. Just smear it across the table and see how well it brings the dough together. And again, it's still nice and cold, and that's the most important thing. Everything's cold. The water, the butter, everything stays nice and cool. And we're just looking for a rough dough at this stage, so it doesn't have to look too pretty. Once you've pretty much got it together, take a bench scraper or a spatula, bring the dough together, and just pat it down into a disc. Using a disc is a better idea because when you go to roll it out, it won't be so hard to roll it out. And there you have your pastry. This will need to go in the fridge for at least 30 minutes or overnight before you roll it out to make a pie or whatever you're going to make with it. Okay? Good luck.